Okay, so what just happened is everyone who generated something in their phone, a model was just used to generate like a random AI-generated image, and all these images are now assembled into this, well, Doge plus America image. And if I zoom in on it, literally every single block is one of these small AI-generated images on your phone. So, and we can go around, and if you have the coordinates on your image, we can just find it here and see your name on it. And yeah, this is just basically is the thing we just did now. So I'm gonna like go back and just explain what just happened. And every edge device, like your phone or your laptop, has a small chip these days where you can run like AI inference models. With something like called Web GPU, from the browser, we can run an image model to generate an image on your device, like these small images. And you can add your name to it, like the YX here. And if we get enough devices together, like the ones in the room and the ones that I have in the cloud, then we can generate a lot of these images together and use another model to assemble them to make something. Like we can do the Doge thing, or we can do like, I don't know, a picture of Vitalik or something. And what's happening here is very similar to how a distributed training or a distributed inference setup would work. Essentially, I could just generate this entire image on one massive data center, all these small blocks of it, and then assemble them, or I can just do it on a bunch of phones and laptops. And yeah, basically, like any of these small images, as you've seen before, is just like a lot of these small edge-generated image. And I mean, and yeah, as you can see it also here, all these images are just small, random edge-generated images on your phone. Next time, I'll make the demo more interesting, but you type your own prompt, generate your own image. But for now, you can just see how it works here. So back to from this, like. I'm going to talk a little bit about EXO works and how the analogy relates to this art piece. First is, what we care about at EXO is thinking about this idea of democratizing AI models. What does that mean? It means frontier models available to everyone. So a frontier model is a model like ChatGPT or Claude, any of the Claude models, Claude Sonnet, for example, or Llama 405B. And the reason why this is quite hard, unlike normal software, is open source software in general is something that's like freely available, and it's very easy to develop in the sense that if you have a laptop and good ideas, you can contribute meaningfully. If you want to develop some open source video editing tool, just a laptop and good ideas, and you can start making progress. But when it comes to AI models, it's a lot more like hardware in the sense that you need massive upfront capital. So a company like Meta can make meaningful progress in open source AI because they have like 600,000 H100s or something. So when you think about training a model, it's often these gigantic training clusters full of hardware. But even if someone like Meta goes through all the work to train a model and make it open source, just using the model is very hard. In the case of Llama 405B, you would still need multiple of these H100 GPUs, and one of these costs around $30,000. And I'm not sure about people here, but I don't have a bunch of these lying around. So what we do at EXO is essentially, you can aggregate any number of edge devices, like phones and laptops and so on. And you can use those to run powerful models. Like you can essentially build a mini network of these edge devices and use those to train or inference a model, like generate an art piece or so on. And just some more visual examples is you can add as many as you want, like phones and laptops, whatever, and you can make this bigger cluster. Like here you just see 3 devices, like 3 MacBooks basically, or I can just go as big as I want. And what can you do with this? Well, what you can do with this is you can, again, run models without needing the data center GPUs. So some example, the first example, I guess, was the art piece we've seen earlier. But some other examples are, well, just running inference on like a very powerful model. Like here's an example of my co-founder Alex just running Llama 405B, which is the biggest open source model in the world, just running on a bunch of MacBooks without needing a GPU. Another example that I always like to show is I can build like a fully private version of Siri that runs on my own hardware. So this version of Siri, Alex asking, schedule a catch-up call with Mo, with me, and the OpenSiri responds, okay, I will schedule a call for you. And this is obviously a very expensive thing. You need multiple models to use this. And instead of using cloud GPUs, you can just aggregate a bunch of iPad, iPhone, a laptop, the devices you already have, and you can run these models fully locally and fully privately. And what's going to happen now in a sec is you're going to see the flow of this, where There's a vision model that pauses, takes screenshots, where you see this thing automation running, and then it plans what to do next, and then it literally executes the action on your phone. It can swipe for you, it can go to the calendar, it can create the calendar invite, and so on. It's less exciting without the audio, but yeah, you get the drill, and then afterwards it will go and send a message on Telegram, like here. And the thing I want to emphasize here is that these things are practically the same thing from the perspective of what we're doing, where if you want to crowdsource like a bunch of phones and generate an art piece, if you want to do inference on a model, if you want to do a small fine-tuning session, the key idea is that you can just aggregate consumer hardware, like a Samsung phone, an iPhone, an iPad, a Linux machine, 2 Mac minis, whatever you want, and very easily, just like with a few commands, connect them together, not worry about the networking or any of that stuff, and run powerful performance models without needing the GPU to setting much up. That's it. I hope the art piece was fine. We can, I don't know, we can keep it as a memory. We might mint it and put it on Pump.fun or something. But yeah, thanks so much for having me.